All right, so you want to start an investment portfolio, or you're an experienced investor but are looking for a way to build a balanced portfolio. Well, look no further. Today on the channel, we are going to go over a well-diversified portfolio created by just 4 exchange-traded funds. Those are ETFs, as suggested by Vanguard. Now, if you're new to the channel, I want you to smash the like button and subscribe for weekly videos. Let's get going. Now let's go ahead and get a basic definition out of the way. What is an exchange-traded fund, okay? So basically, an exchange-traded fund is a collection of a basket of securities that trade on an exchange, just like a stock, essentially. So it's basically a collection of things like stocks, bonds. Oftentimes, they will track an underlying index or be of a specific sector like the healthcare sector or the technology sector. A well-known example of an ETF is going to be SPY. Now, this is a very popular ETF that tracks the S&P 500 that is very widely traded. Now, let's go ahead and dive into that first ETF of the 4 ETFs that I was talking about. This is going to be ticker symbol VTI, which is the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. Now, this is one of my favorite ETFs that you can get. This is seeking to track the performance of the U.S. Total Stock Market Index, and it includes large, mid, and small cap equity diversified across growth and value styles. Now, look here at the expense ratio, which is something to really pay attention to when you're buying any ETF. Very, very low, 0.03%. You always want it to definitely be under 1%. This is far below that. Now, if we look at the average annual returns, since inception, you're averaging about 7.6% here, which is a great annual return. And if we had invested $10,000 back in 2010, hypothetical growth of that $10,000 would be all the way at $37,197.13. Now, one thing that's always very important whenever you are investing in an ETF, make sure to check the portfolio composition and the largest holdings. So if we're looking at the portfolio composition broken down by sector, we see that the largest holdings, 26.2%, are going to be in the technology sector, which is a huge growth sector. The second largest is going to be in consumer discretionary, 16.4%. We have over 3,000 stocks here included in this ETF, so you are well diversified. And let's look at the 10 largest holdings. Number 1, Apple. Fantastic company. Everybody should own it that's investing in the stock market. Microsoft, and obviously another huge name with a great brand. Amazon, Alphabet, Facebook. These are the top 5 that you're getting here by investing in VTI. So you're getting a little chunk of each one of these companies. Berkshire Hathaway, obviously Warren Buffett's corporation. Tesla, Elon Musk's corporation, obviously extremely popular. Johnson & Johnson's a great dividend stock. JP Morgan, Chase & Company, and Visa Incorporated, all fantastic stocks to own. Now let's look at the second ETF on that list. So this is going to be the Vanguard Total International Stock ETF, ticker symbol VXUS. Vanguard Total International Stock ETF, ticker symbol VXUS. So this is basically tracking the investment return on stocks issued by companies located outside of the United States, okay? So this is broad exposure across developed and emerging non-US equity markets. Passively managed. Now, let's take a look at that expense ratio, which I mentioned earlier. So we're looking at 0.08%, all right? Still very low. You're going to always want to make sure that your expense ratio is less than 1%. Now, average annual returns. So you're looking at, since inception in 2011, the average annual return is about 3.42%, which is still a decent return. It is lower than the VTI, but this also diversifies you and makes sure that if anything happens in the U.S. stock market, you're still maintaining a good, healthy, diversified portfolio that will be untouched. Now, if you were to have invested $10,000 back in 2010, you are looking at about $15,301.93. That's a hypothetical growth of $10,000 invested then. And the portfolio composition is 38.8% in Europe. So the largest chunk is going to be here in Europe. 25.4% is in emerging markets. Now, the number of stocks is even larger than in VTI because we're looking at 7,455 different stocks that you're diversified across. And the month-end 10 largest holdings, 10.3% of the total net assets. Number one, Alibaba Group Holding. Now this is a fantastic company. If you haven't looked at investing in Alibaba, I would highly consider it. Jim Cramer, says that the only Chinese stock he suggests investing in is Alibaba. You're also looking at Tencent, Samsung, Roche Holding, and Toyota Motor Corp, just to name a few. Time for the third ETF on that list. This is going to be Vanguard Total Bond Market ETF, ticker symbol BND. Vanguard Total Bond Market ETF, ticker symbol BND. The fund's investment objective is to seek to track the performance of a broad market-weighted bond index. The fund generally provides broad exposure to the taxable investment-grade U.S. dollar-denominated bond market, excluding inflation-protected and tax-exempt bonds. Now, this offers relatively high potential for investment income. Share value tends to rise and fall modestly, okay? Now, your expense ratio is 0.035%, very low. And our performance, our average annual returns is about 4.47%, and the hypothetical growth of $10,000 invested back in 2010 is going to be about $14,327.70. Now, portfolio composition is broken up by distribution by credit quality. So the U.S. government is going to make up 59.4% of the total bond market ETF. Finally, let's look at the fourth ETF on that list. This is going to be Vanguard Total International Bond ETF, ticker symbol BNDX. International Bond ETF, ticker symbol BNDX. So this is going to provide a convenient way to get broad exposure to non-US dollar denominated investment grade bonds. It's passively managed using index sampling, and our expense ratio 0.08%, still very low. Now, if we're looking at average annual returns, we're looking at an average annual return since inception in 2013 of 4.22%. And if we were to have invested $10,000 back in 2013 at its inception, that would now be worth about $13,628.92. Now, the portfolio composition primarily allocated in Europe, 58.2%. The next largest is going to be 24.1% in the Pacific, okay? And distribution is by credit quality and market allocation by actual country. All right, thanks for watching. If you liked this content, please hit the like button and subscribe for further videos. I'll see you next time.